courtroom today was full of tension, eyes fixed on one man, Nnamdi Kanu. The air was heavy, everyone waiting to see what would happen next. You could almost hear hearts beating as the judge took his seat. This was not just another day in court. This was one of those days that could change things. Before the case even started, you could feel that something big was about to happen. And truly, what happened next surprised everyone. So, the case was called, and the Federal High Court in Abuja sat to continue Nnamdi Kanu's trial. The judge reminded both sides that the prosecution had already finished presenting its case. Normally, after that, the defense would begin their part, calling witnesses, showing evidence, or trying to clear any doubts. But what came next shocked everyone. Nnamdi Kanu stood up, calm but firm, and told the court that he would not present any defense. Imagine that, a case this serious, and the man at the center of it saying he would not defend himself. Now, before I go further, please, if you are enjoying this gist, take 1 second, just one, and like this video. It really helps the channel grow. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe so that you don't miss updates like this one. Okay, let's continue. So, when Nnamdi Kanu said he would not present any defense, you could see confusion in the courtroom. Some people thought he was joking. Others looked at his lawyers, waiting for them to say something. But Kanu was serious. He said he refused to defend himself because, according to him, the law under which he was charged was not valid. He told the court that the charges were built on a foundation that was not fair, so he could not play along with it. That was his stand. Now, for those who may not fully understand what that means, let me explain in simple terms. In a normal court case, when the government, that's the prosecution, finishes presenting their evidence, the other side, which is the defendant, has a right to tell their own side of the story. They can call witnesses, show documents, or challenge what the government said. But if the defendant refuses to do that, it means the court will decide based only on what the prosecution has already presented. That's a risky move because it gives the judge only one side of the story. But still, it is his legal right to make that choice. Now, let's think about why he might do that. Some people say it's a strategy, a legal move to protest the case itself. Others believe it's a statement, a way of saying, I do not recognize this process. You know, Nnamdi Kanu has always been vocal about what he believes in. Whether you agree with him or not, you cannot deny that he's firm in his conviction. He has said before that he believes the charges against him are political and not purely legal. So, for him to stand in court and refuse to defend himself, that's in line with how he has always spoken. If you're following, I want to say thank you for staying with me. And please, take a moment again. Just scroll down and click that like button. When you like and subscribe, it tells the system that you appreciate the content and it allows me to keep bringing you stories like this in real time. Now, back to what happened in court. The judge, after hearing Kanu's statement, turned to his lawyers and asked if that was indeed their final position. His legal team confirmed that he had made that decision himself. The prosecution, of course, was ready to move forward. They reminded the court that they had already finished the case. They said they had done their part, brought their witnesses, submitted documents, and called their evidence. So if the defense was not going to say anything else, then the only thing left was for the court to set a date for judgment. And that's exactly what happened. The court fixed a new date, November 20th, for the judgment. That means on that day, the judge will decide whether Nnamdi Kanu is guilty or not guilty of the charges brought against him. That's just around the corner, and everyone's waiting. Some people are hopeful, others are anxious, but everyone is watching. Now let's pause and think about the meaning of this whole thing. When someone refuses to defend themselves, they are leaving their fate in the hands of the court and also sending a message. Some people see this as a show of courage, others see it as a risky decision. But one thing is sure, it has made the case even more interesting and more unpredictable. This case is not just about one man, and it's about bigger issues: freedom, justice, law, and unity. That's why you can't ignore it. Every time there's a court hearing, people come from far and near just to see what's going to happen. Some come because they support him, others because they want to understand how the government handles such a high-profile case. But everyone agrees that it's one of the most closely watched trials in Nigeria right now. Remember, this trial has been going on for years. It has passed through different judges, and there have been appeals, adjournments, and even international attention. The world is watching. People in the diaspora are following every step closely. Every statement from the courtroom spreads fast on social media, X, Facebook, and everywhere else. And that's why moments like this carry so much weight. If you're still watching, let me say thank you again. You're the reason I keep bringing you these updates in a calm and clear way. And please, if you haven't yet, take 2 seconds, click that subscribe button now and turn on notifications. That way, when I drop the next update about the November 20th judgment, you'll be the first to know. Now, let's go a little deeper into what could happen next. When the court gives its judgment, there are only a few possible outcomes. 1, the court could convict him, meaning it agrees with the prosecution that he is guilty. 2, the court could acquit him, meaning he's free of all charges. Or 3, the case could be delayed again if new motions come in before the judgment date. Any of those outcomes will have major reactions, both in Nigeria and beyond. If he is convicted, his legal team will most likely appeal immediately. That would mean the case could go all the way to higher courts, maybe even to the Supreme Court. If he's acquitted, it will create celebration among his supporters and spark political conversations about what happens next for IPOB and the government. Either way, there will be ripple effects. And let's not forget the human side of this story. Nnamdi Kanu has been in detention for a long time now. His family, his supporters, and his legal team have all been through pressure. The government too has faced criticism from different angles about how this case is being handled. There are people calling for dialogue, saying maybe there should be a peaceful resolution. Others insist that justice must take its full course. In all of this, one thing is clear. Everyone wants peace. Nobody wants more tension in the country. So even as we follow the case, it's important for everyone to stay calm and allow the court to do its work. No matter your view, respect for the law must come first. And please, if you agree with that, show support by liking this video right now. When you like it, it helps push this message of peace and awareness further to more people. Now, let's talk about the atmosphere outside the court. On the day of this hearing, there were crowds outside, peaceful, waiting, chanting, and showing support. Security was tight, but there were no major issues. That shows a level of maturity and restraint that many people commended. Inside the courtroom, though, emotions were high. Everyone wanted to know what would happen next. You could see journalists rushing to send live updates, lawyers whispering to each other, and supporters holding their breath. That's how intense it was. After the session ended and the judgment date was announced, people left the courtroom quietly. But the discussions started immediately. On social media, people were already debating. Was it a smart move for him not to defend himself? Did it help his cause, or did it make things harder? Those questions are still being discussed everywhere right now. Some legal experts say it's a bold move, but one that carries risks. They argue that by refusing to defend himself, he's making a point about the process, but also leaving the judge to decide without hearing his own side. Others say it could even strengthen his appeal later, because it shows he's not accepting the current process as legitimate. Either way, everyone agrees on one thing. The next court date will be critical. It could either close this long chapter or open another one entirely. And that's why I'll keep bringing you every detail as it unfolds. But before I continue with more background and reactions, please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. is the best way to support this channel. Just hit that button now and let's keep this community growing.